What up, y'all? What up, y'all? How y'all doing tonight? Definitely hit the number one button, share it live. I'm gonna wait for y'all to come in because I gotta cook your favorite hyena that y'all kicked me for, and I don't understand why. Some of you men who claim to be so red pill, y'all been exposed. You have been exposed. You exposed yourself. A lot of these men who make red pill content are the biggest simps, the biggest sassy, weak, buck broken horse ninjas, simps. They are leading a lot of these younger men astray. And I'm not gonna just sit there and let you do it. And yet you turn around and cape for women who are full of shit. No sir. No ma'am. This woman is a chameleon. But okay, y'all wanna still rock with her? I gotta question your character and your integrity. You know what I'm saying? I gotta question your integrity because to me, it's a bunch of BS, man. A lot of you people ain't about. A lot of these people are fake as hell. Fake as hell. Fake as hell. Yeah, very fake as hell. Because I spoke about your favorite content creator, y'all a bunch of fans. Yeah, hit that number one button. Hit that number one and share it alive. And if we get some good amount of support, you see where I'm pointing? You can support me there. You can support me there, and you can support me through the app. Okay, we get a good enough support. I will have y'all chime in. Okay, how's that sound? Does that sound good? So this hyena, and it's just not just her. There's a bunch of other heifers I can cook.
I've never met a man.
All right, and we're gonna get started right now since I got because this is BS. So who's here? Comment. Please engage because we're gonna have a good show.
Why are you not taken? Why are you not married? Whenever somebody say that to me, I get immediately pissed off because it makes it seem as if I don't have no say so.
Well, why are you pissed off? First and foremost, why are you pissed off? Because I get this. Because I've been asked the same question too. I may be feeling some type of way. It's like, yeah, it's. I wish I had this and that. I don't think you're coming from that place. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think you're coming from that place. To me, you got unrealistic expectations, just like the rest of these hoffers, these hyenas, these hoes, who's, you know what I'm saying? A lot of you heifers. This is why I look. This shout out to Wise Nubian. This is why, and he said this to me a long time ago. Anyone who got a big social media platform and it's not about a lucrative business, don't take her seriously, and that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. That is a fact. Y'all feel me? I'm gonna continue.
In the situation, it doesn't matter who wants me.
What?
It's about who I want. And I always say it. I've never met a man who I would be with for the rest of my life. I
Cap,
never
cap.
met a man that
No,
I
no, no, no,
wanted.
no, 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 no. That's cap. That is all cap. You're damn near 40 years old. As a woman, it's different from a man. You're almost 40 plus years old, and you don't know what you want. Dana, stop the cap. Stop the cap. That's why you blocked me because You all you could do is be like the other heifers and the other hyenas and just hurl insults, but you can never address what I'm saying and what I'm asking and what I'm requiring for you to address on the topic at hand. You want a certain type of man that you don't qualify for. She's no different, and you have this inconsistent. I'm trying to be. You're trying to steal the talking points of Kevin Samuels. You're trying to be like, and you got to mix a little bit of Kendra G in you, and you're just a chameleon. You copy Jess Pearly Fangs, who's a chameleon herself. You don't have nothing original. Now, people have said back when you started, you was very original until you start getting until you started cat getting that cat them checks from TikTok. You was big, plus size, very heavy set. You was more original. But when you started getting a big following, you sold out like most people do. And I don't want to say this is just a white tee, a black and white thing, but it's a problem in our community. She knows exactly what she wants. She would rather buy a dog, which she already has. I think she got a couple of dogs, and be lonely. Why don't you just get with somebody that you need who gives a damn about you, who's there for you? You got that. Somebody who's loyal to you. Somebody who he may not be. He may not be, a white collar CEO. He may be, he may be a blue collar, hardworking blue collar worker. He probably got his own business on the side, and he's working at blue collar. Maybe he's working for management, CEO, or he's doing it. He got his little 9 to 5 blue collar 9 to 5, or he's just a small business owner, but he's handling business. But see, that's not sexy. I own a custodial business. I own a laundry business. That's not sexy for her. You want the lifestyle of the real house hoes of Atlanta. You want to be like the housewives of Atlanta. You want to be like those women on the housewives of Atlanta, Potomac, housewives of Charlotte. These wannabe housewives. She's no different than any of these women we talk about. Anybody who makes this content like I do, she is one of the same. And I try to give many women the benefit of the doubt. But she is a low key sprinkle. But I'll continue.
That much. I've met attractive men. I've met men who had great personalities. I've met a lot of good men throughout my years on this earth. But I ain't never met one that I wanted to actually be with for the rest of my life. For the
Basically, she's a 304 people. She's a 304. And do y'all believe her? You know what I'm saying?
rest of my life, somebody who I was compatible with to that level, somebody I was physically attracted to that level, a man that possessed all the things and characteristics that I wanted. No, I never met that man. I ain't never seen that man.
She's she's a liar. Her pants are on fire. I want to say what I wanted to say that came into my mind, but I gotta um, keep the live clean.
The day before in my life, my last two exes are the closest that I've ever gotten to this. Right? One of them possessed the personality.
Dana, let me ask you a question, and send this live to Dana. Let me ask you a question, Dana, because I don't believe you. You just admitted that you found some good dudes, right? Some good dudes that you saw. as husband material. Maybe you're just not wifey material, just like the rest of these modern women. I'm not saying now, granted, I'm not saying every man's husband material. I'm not saying that. You mean to tell me that your father did not support, did not approve? I'm pretty sure if your father was this, because a lot of you wouldn't be capping about your father. Some of y'all low key have no respect for your fathers, even though they spoil your ass rotten. That's why I won't spoil you. I will spoil you, but I'm not going to spoil you with entitlement and narcissism. I'll spoil you with resources and knowledge and accountability and personal responsibility. You know what I'm saying? But you mean to tell me that no man was good enough for your father to offer approval? I'm pretty sure your father might have liked some of the men you were dating. I'm pretty sure, but you're hard headed. This is the problem with a lot of melanated women. Very hard headed. Very hard headed. I'm pretty sure her father was like, this is the man you probably should really be serious with, but she didn't listen. Unless he's a spineless simp, like I'm pretty sure he is, and he's sort of my ain't no man good enough for my daughter. Sir, she's not a virgin. If that's the case, then why? How come she's not a virgin? Why did you pick? How come you didn't choose her husband when she got out of graduated high school and you should have that the game plan should have been whether I go for college or go for the get a certificate, go for the workforce is to seek a husband. You did not do that. Based on what she said.
The character traits, he was everything on paper that I want. He just wasn't physically what I wanted. And then the last ex was physically everything that I wanted. Personality, characteristics, it could be better. It wasn't better than the ex before him. But if you took both of them and put them together and had the looks of one and then the characteristics of the other, oh yeah. That would be my man. That would be my man. That would be exactly what I wanted. But since you can't,
How come you didn't just get off the damn market? Why didn't you just say, you know what, I'm gonna he's my husband and I'm his wife at that point. Now, if you want to be single for the rest of your life, and that's just not your prerogative, that's not your interest, cool. Then why are you talking about relationship topics? Why do you got so much of an opinion? Because this is what people have said to me. Because I talk about a whole my platform is not about relationships. My platform is about talking about issues in our community. I'm pro black. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth to the end, y'all. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? I'm a men's advocate. I'm a black men's advocate for men and boys. I speak about the world and politics and do my work to help people worldwide. I'm about this revolutionary life. You know what I'm saying? Understand what I'm saying? And I may talk about the problems with capitalism and economic issues and environmental issues from time to time. What is her identity? Anybody who wants to come up on a panel and speak with and give their take on the topic right now are welcome to.
can't do that. And I've never met a man who possessed the characteristics and the looks of the last two exes I had. No.
That's a hot. I told you she's a pass around. She's a skip me. Can you hear the video? Comment. Put a one in the chat if you can actually hear the audio of the video that I'm playing from my phone. Put a one in the chat.
I've never seen it before. Why are you not taken? Why are you not married?
Now I'm gonna move on to the next video. This is what she talks about body count.
Shut up about body count. Y'all can just shut the conversation down now. The last few men that I've gotten into it with on this app, the first thing that they jumped to conclusions about was assuming that I've had a lot of body.
Okay, if you're saying they're not credible in so many words, why are you saying shut up about body count? People can talk about what they want to talk about on this app, Dana. People could talk about and say whatever the hell they want, according to the First Amendment. You know what's so funny? Yeah, the notice is unclear. TikTok, you gotta do better than that. I'm not speaking any misinformation nonsense. Y'all, misinformation nonsense. Y'all, all right. Hmm. Nobody's available. Nobody's available. But uh, I want some guys to chime in on this. Really, if you're so done with the body count conversation, then what's the point of you making a video? Because I will follow up with this video. Because you need to be cooked, and I got that type of time.
Shut up about body count. Y'all can just shut the conversation down now. The last few men that I've gotten into it with on this app, the first thing that they jumped to conclusions about was assuming that I've had a lot of bodies, that I sleep around with a lot of different men.
Ma'am, you sound like you got a lot of bodies because hit dogs holler. You a dog that just hollered. If it gets to me, that's like you asking me how many women I've been with. Because if a man got a low body count, y'all don't take him. Y'all don't want to fuck with him for whatever reason. Y'all think he can't do nothing. He could be focused on his life. He could be focused on making moves. He could focus about getting to know the world and traveling. He could be doing that. But y'all think he has to sleep with a bunch of women and got multiple baby mamas for him to be credible and whatever the hell.
And then I'm lying about being abstinent. When none of that is true. None of that is completely the total opposite.
You can only be abstinent technically if you're abstinent to me. If you are already an established virgin, that means your hymen has never been busted. That means your hymen is still there between the thighs. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? You have to be a virgin to be considered being celibate and looking for a husband. You cannot have a high body count, then talk about and making the man wait when you didn't make the last 100 men wait.
I remember dudes would say stupid stuff like, "Well, there's no way you can be that."
Why we gotta be stupid? Why do we gotta be stupid? Why you gotta say the S word? Maybe you're the one who's stupid. I'll get in the mud with you. You know that New York side is coming out. Me see that Carolina hood rat side of you is coming out. You know, Big Shirley's angry.
Thick if you're not sleeping around. Whole time I'm a virgin, right? Whole time I'm a virgin, but because I'm thicker, that means that I must be sleeping with men. And that's just how they used to do girls who was thick. If you had
She must be talking. That must be a southern thing, primarily a North Carolina thing. Because where I'm from up top. I'm from the north. I'm from the northeast, the new northeastern America, the northeastern United States of America. I'm from the northeastern region of the United States. I'm from the northeastern region of the so-called States of America. I'm from New York, Jersey. I'm from New York. I'm from the New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia area, tri-state area. I'm from New York, New Jersey. From New York, lived out in Jersey. I was an hour away from Philadelphia. So when we saw a bigger girl, a bigger woman, we assumed the opposite. We actually thought the opposite. If you're from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, you would look at a female who was big and chunky, like, oh, she probably ain't gonna get no man. So it's very different up north, particularly in the Northeast. New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts. Because I mean, it's very different because the women who are big and chunky, that they're not celebrated like that. You know what I'm saying? Particularly in the tri-state, New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia area, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area. From New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Connecticut area, big women are not celebrated like it is in the Carolinas, in the South, in the predominant South. Southern chicks, big Southern chicks, are more desirable than the skinny chicks in the South. You understand?
Had a nice shape or you had a big butt, they assumed that some dude must have been sleeping with you or you sleeping around with a lot of guys because back in the day, for some reason, dudes used to go around saying that that was how girls got big, was by back shots or goofy stuff like that. But fast forward to now, y'all.
That's definitely that must be a North Carolina thing, a Carolina thing because, like I said, up north we didn't think like that. Up north, those who are from the north, even those from the Midwest, like from Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, particularly Chicago, the Chicagoland area, Minnesota. Yeah, I would say we didn't think like that, especially the Northeast. Very multicultural, multi-ethnic, very liberal on the East Coast. That's the most liberal part of the East Coast, which I can't stand anyway. But that's a whole different that's a whole different life.
Grown adult men, and y'all still don't know how to tell the difference between women who sleep around and the women.
BS, Dana. BS. Shut it down, Dana. Be quiet. Oh, I can. We can tell. Men can tell different ways. Not every man can tell the same way as the next man. By you being triggered like you are, you just told on yourself. To me, by you having your post-traumatic dating traumas, relationship traumas, where you're heavily guarded and bitter, yes, you had a lot of bodies. A woman who has a full-fledged, who can't coexist with other women, not from because she calls out the bullshit of women, of other women, but because she is she can't really go coexist with other women because she's always in constant hardcore competition with other women, and she will be low key trifling. You know what I'm saying?
Who don't. And seeing how y'all really don't know the difference between a girl who had 100 bodies and a girl who ain't had none, y'all really just don't even need to have a conversation at all. Because clearly,
Why are you trying to stop us from having the conversation? Why are you trying to stop us from having the conversation? You are so triggered because women who don't have a big a body count, women who don't have a lot of bodies, they're not uncomfortable talking about body count because it doesn't apply to them. Again, hit dogs holler. Hit dogs will holler. And you and them hit dogs. And if I could say what I really wanted to say, referring to you as a female dog, a dirty female dog at that, I would have said it. But I'm on TikTok. I'm on a TikTok platform.
I don't have the discernment to figure out the difference between the two. And since you can't prove nothing, you might as well
You
let
are proving you just exposing yourself to by the more you talk, the more you dig yourself a hole. Hell, oh, I want to smoke, Dana. I want to smoke. Trust me, even if I saw you in public. Now, as much as I have issues with Divine Truth Teller, that talking about using that pume, she got a pume pume, and she would like to unalive you. That's what she said. Yeah, probably some of you heifers need to be unalive because we got too many dumb heifers out here, dumb hyenas out here, and it's a cancer to our society, a cancer to the world. If when you ask me, that modern woman feminism, degenerate culture that y'all bring, you modern women bring, and it's still in your children, it's a problem.
go. Me personally, I think body count matters for men and women. I'm also not offended by the conversation. However,
Then what's the point of you making the video if you're not offended by a conversation? See, that legal attorney side of me, she lucky that I didn't go to law school. Because if we was in court, I would run laps around you. She lucky that if I was blessed and I was in a better position in life where I could actually go to law school and finish before my graduating class, expected graduating class, I would run laps around you hoes. I'll be running laps around you like Dennis Sperling.
I think it is a silly conversation. And the reason why I think it's silly is because even when y'all are told the truth, you don't believe it anyway.
Huh?
So since you don't believe it anyway, there's no point in having the
What the
conversation.
what the hell she's talking about? Do y'all know what she's talking about? She don't have a clue what she's talking about. So you see how she got in her feelings? Hit dogs will holler.
Because so many of y'all are simple and dense, and you believe that
See, she can't even get her point across without insulting people. If you gotta insult somebody, you already lost. If you gotta make personal attacks and ad hominems on a topic because you disagree with somebody, it'd be one thing you're frustrated and you just irritated, but the fact that you try to use insults to shut somebody down, you a coward. You weak. That's some weakness right there.
woman is attractive, that means she has to sleep around, because you know if you were in her place and you were an attractive woman who could sleep with as many men that you want, you would take full advantage of it.
What?
So
What? Do y'all understand what this heifer just said? Do you understand what this hyena just said? This chameleon. Look, if you guys want to rock with her, go ahead. Because black men, anytime a woman who's just respectfully thick, attractive, and she tells you and she panders to you, y'all will defend her. But guess what? While you financing her lifestyle on social media, she would never talk to you. She would never give you the time of day. And a lot of times, the type of men she be dealing with is probably a dude she paying all the bills with. She paying for everything, living in her house. Dude is leeching off her money. Because a man who stands on principle, a man who holds his own, she gonna avoid him because a woman, good men expose bad women. I want y'all to understand this. Men who are truly good, honorable men with morals and principles and integrity and have discipline, have pride, and I'm speaking not necessary in any form of order, but a man who has integrity, a man who has a heart, good men who got principles, morality, who has pride, dignity, is about his respects his manhood, is about his manhood, has discipline, stands with his behind his convictions. See, a bad woman will be exposed. A bad woman will always be exposed by a good man. When a man is truly a good man, that woman's flaws will be exposed. Y'all feel me?
You see it through the eyes of your own, and you know because you lack sexual discipline and control that if you were in that woman's place, you would sleep
What the
around
hell
with
you talk? What the hell is she talking about? What the hell is she talking about, y'all? Like, what the hell is this hyena talking about? Most men, especially Gen Z men, most men from the millennials, but mainly Gen Z men, most men are virgins until they get into their early 30s, late 20s and 30s. That's when they start losing their virginity, according to according to data, the CDC, FBI data. Most men ain't even talking to women because you women look how y'all act. Then you got the passport bros because she dissed the passport bros. The passport bros have never done nothing to Dana. They have never disrespected Dana. From my understanding, the passport bros have done nothing to Dana. But she had the audacity to attack the passport bros. But because you ninjas and you simps, you claim to be red pill, but you're really purple, bluish purple pill. Y'all, because she told y'all, because she so-called held women accountable by criticizing them. Y'all said, "Oh yeah, man, oh yeah." That's what y'all did because she told you what you want to hear. She pandered to you for a freaking bag. She didn't have to sell no feet pictures, no feet videos. She didn't have to do. She didn't have to open an OF page, an LF page to expose her body. Congratulations for making these simple-minded broads, these extra average without the makeup, fresh out the shower broads. You made them comfortable financially. Want you to understand this, okay?
men. Because your mind processes information that way, you assume that woman must be the way you would be as a woman. So in
What she said makes absolutely no sense.
conclusion, does it matter? Yes. But in actuality, does it matter? No. Because even when presented with the truth, y'all will still say it's a lie.
That's a woman, Dana. Stop it. That's you. That's what women. That's most of you women do. You're projecting. Shoot, where my man? Let me talk. Let me play this part.
Bernard was on live the other day and I joined. It was almost 1,000 people in that live. I knew somebody was in that screen recording it. The fact that y'all was stupid enough to think that if I was truly interested in a man, that I would share that with TikTok, as private as I am, you would think that if I was actually interested in a man, I would let y'all know that. Yeah, I see how y'all get played by.
Ma'am, you are already telling on yourself by running your mouth. Typical B Dub behavior. Typical FBA B Dub behavior. Don't know when to be quiet.
I mean, y'all are very gullible and dumb. Because if you think that if I was truly interested in a man, that I would openly display that for y'all and let you know who I'm dating.
You didn't have to display it. Your actions speak louder than words, stupid. Boy, somebody should go upside your head. Girl, we should go upside your head. You need to be popped in the mouth. Yeah, I said it.
Interested in or talking to. I ain't never been one of them creators and never will. That's the reason why you don't know nothing about my dating history, right?
We know you're a failure at your dating history, just like the rest of these FBA modern black heifers and hyenas. You modern hyena black beaches, y'all failures dating and relationships. Everything you touch turns to shit. You are a cancer into the dating market, into the black specific dating market. It's a cancer. Y'all are the cancers of the community because you laid on your back for white zaddy. Y'all got on your knees for your master and destroyed the community by being the biggest sellouts who went unchecked. And these mama's boy simps didn't want to hold you accountable and didn't want to punish you and ostracize you because these ninjas were mama's boys. Y'all raised and trained these men to put up with all types of BS from you hoes. That's the problem.
Share that information. You don't get my personal life on here, right? I try to switch up my content and throw in some little jokes and play around a little bit, and that's the reason why I can't play with y'all. That's the reason why I have to come on here and be strict and be on y'all necks. Because when I try to make lighthearted content and just be like cool and fun, y'all do too much. You take it too far.
That's you, Dana. That's you. That's you. Be quiet.
She say that she don't deal with baby mama makers, but she make an exception for him. How? When? When did you see that? When did that ever happen? Right?
Most B does be doing that. Okay, that's just a fact, unfortunately.
Making up stuff. I go into a man live and have a conversation with him, and now all of a sudden we got a whole situation going on. Now all of a sudden I done disregarded all of my boundaries and standards for him. Ain't nothing that happened. I was in that man's live. That's it. That's all. I ain't never talked to that man outside of TikTok. I ain't never even talked to that man in a DM on TikTok. Like, be for real and calm down. Just because y'all don't have self-control, and anytime you find a man attractive, you got to drop them draws for him, me and you are not the same, sis. That's the reason why you got so many...
Most of you heifers are one and the same, unfortunately.
Bodies on you and I don't. We're not the same type of women. I know how to find a man attractive and keep it.
Where's your husband? Where's your husband? Where's your husband? That's all I need to know. You are the same, just like these rest of these modern hyena black women.
Moving. Just because I think somebody's fine don't mean that I gotta want them. That's what y'all do, right? That's the reason why you're ran through like you are, and I'm not.
You ran through. You just know how to hide it. You're no different than a covert. Maybe I shouldn't use that analogy. You're no different than a covert racist. You just hide your shit better. You claim to be so liberal and colorblind, but you don't do nothing to use your white privilege to support the revolution. You don't use your white privilege to dismantle the anti-black system of white tea supremacy. You women are just no. You are women are one and the same. Y'all don't use your gynocratic privilege, your female unchecked female privilege to dismantle the misandry and the anti-black misandry that's rooted in white supremacy. Y'all support the gynocracy, unchecked female privilege, and this toxic feminism because you want to you get to be a degenerate without being checked, and you're rewarded for your toxic, narcissistic, selfish behavior.
Because you don't know how to control yourself around attractive men. I see attractive men all the time. I be around attractive men. I know how to.
That's a big giveaway too. She be around attractive men all the time, and you think she's celibate.
Control myself around them. I don't have to want to sleep with them just because they look good. All right, some of y'all just as bad as men. All right, them panties drop as soon as you see something right. It's unfortunate that I'm not able to make lighthearted content because we clearly see what happens when I do. Y'all take it too far and you do the most. So I guess I'll just go back to calling y'all out on y'all BS and stand on your neck.
But when somebody calls you out on your BS and stands on your neck, you cry and play victim. Your true colors come out full fledged, Dana. When we check you and call you out and hold you accountable and be on and put our foots on your neck, you don't like it. You holler like a typical bitch that you are.
Did all that screen recording, but I don't see the clips of when y'all was coming up on his live and he was dropping y'all because y'all was ugly. Where them clips at? Right, you can clip everything else. Show those clips. Y'all was coming up on that live catfishing and getting dropped because you was ugly. Show those clips.
Huh?
Bernard was on live the other day, and
What the hell is she talking about?
you didn't want coffee, but you ate McAllister's. McAllister's is about compatible as far as price point to a coffee shop. When y'all talk about a coffee shop, y'all act like Starbucks is the only coffee shop that exists. Most coffee shops nowadays got full menus, and they're not cheap. They're not cheap at all. I can spend anywhere from $10 to $12 on a matcha or a chai latte, depending on how I fix it up. If I substitute the milks, if I add in certain syrups, it can get up to about $12 sometimes just for the drink. So sitting up here and acting as if you got these high standards because you turned it down a coffee shop, but then in exchange for turning down a coffee shop, you went and took yourself to McAllister's for an under 25 meal deal. And she was absolutely trying to be shady in this whole thing. She's being disingenuous by sitting up now and acting as if that wasn't her intention. She's not trying to make it seem like she too good or that wasn't the tone of it. But yes, it is. Yes, it is. You got on here and made it seem as if you're too good. You can't take a coffee date. And that's why you're getting ate up by the internet. You deserve to get ate up by the internet because you were trying to shame women who will accept coffee dates and make it seem like you're too good for one, and it backfired on you, right? Because you ain't the messenger for that message. And that's the reason why the internet coming for you. It ain't no different than the dude who was talking about mid women approaching him looking the way he did. Y'all are one and the same type of people. Anytime y'all put too much emphasis on where the date is or how much the date costs, I know you're not used to nothing. You're not used to dates and you're not used to going to nice places. I also know a lot of y'all women use these dates as opportunity to dress up, social media content, and to brag to your homegirls about where you got a man to take you to. But most of the time when somebody prioritizes the location and the price point over just getting to know the person, which is what the whole interaction is supposed to be about, it's because you don't have pure intentions. Because by this point, we all know no matter where that man take you, no matter how much he spends, none of that is a reflection on what he wants with you and how he's going to treat you. You didn't want coffee, but you ate McAllister's.
It's just crazy how you have the way social media has, as on top of the democracy, capitalism, feminism, the promotion of misandry, anti-black misandry, and how social media and social engineering has destroyed a lot of you hoes. And has turned you women into worthless ass, toxic, narcissistic, unaccountable, degenerate hyenas and goofy heifers from time to time. But these hyena women are the majority, and they are the majority of modern society. Y'all, let me just say this because I'm going to end this live. There's a reason why I had a female on this particular dating app tag talked about. She showed me a photo of her feet. You know, I had a foot fetish, right? So y'all already know. So she was talking about going out somewhere and I was like, and I told her, well, I'm not gonna do it. And she said talked about what I'm not gonna do, no kinky stuff. I gotta do, but I said I find it interesting that you say you won't do nothing freaky and kinky with a man you don't know, but you want a man to take you out somewhere and spend his money on a broad he don't freaking know. That's interesting. Then she talked about I got my own money. Then okay, then my thing is, since you like to eat out and that's your interest, because you don't want to assist, then you pay for your meal. And hell, treat me since you are so strong and independent and you got the back. But that's not how you women move. Y'all just selfish. Y'all want to cherry pick so-called traditionalism when it benefits you, but anything that benefits the man is a problem. It's okay for y'all to have standards, but if a man has standards, oh, he's wrong. Y'all are the biggest hypocrites. This is why I don't get mad at these brothers. I don't get mad at the men who want to go overseas to find a wife. I said find a wife, not trick. Okay, to go overseas to find a wife overseas, and you women are crashing out, even though for decades, y'all women have snuck, got on girl, went on these girl trips, these international excursions, and y'all been dicked down. You women who are singles, the single ladies, especially you black women, black American women have went overseas and paid for Dizzy. Y'all have gotten your freak on overseas. So stop lying. Y'all have went overseas, even went overseas and traveled with your so-called man, your husband, and snuck around and got it on, got freaky with another man, a foreign man in the land you don't know, and then you try to say, that's your baby. I'm pregnant, honey. Who you fooling?" But because we talk about stuff like this, we are sassy. We are symbols of toxic masculinity. I guess I'm going to be a symbol of toxic masculinity for calling out hypocrisy and bullshit. You think men? There are a lot of a growing number of men who don't care if women like them or not. We don't care if you like us. We don't care about your freaking opinion. We don't care. We're starting to be like the men of the old. We don't care about a woman's opinion. We don't care about her feelings. I'm not saying this is right that I agree with it all the way, but men are starting to not care. So when you talk about these stories of men can't handle rejection, men don't do the blah, but yet you're the one crashing out, and then you try to shame it back into the plantation of the granocracy, and talk about male loneliness when y'all the same women crying about you can't find a man. I don't see men crying about they can't find a woman. Maybe a good woman to marry to find a wife, but I don't see men crying about no women's checking for us. We're complaining about women got unrealistic standards and how they're cruel to men. Yet they say they want a nice guy, but they treat the nice guy like shit. That's the complaint. Don't confuse it. Don't confuse the two and three. But most of you women crying about complaining on this app, talking about no man checking for them. Most of you women are so ready to give it up on a man that you met off Tinder, off a Tag, off of Bumble, off of Plenty of Fish. That's the majority of you women. A lot of y'all got knocked up by making these random ass dudes because you've been having a dry spell for a long time because no dude can fill your unrealistic expectations, but yet you get knocked up by a bum. What does that say about you? I'm about to end this video. Y'all have a good night. This live.